Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. So yesterday we graded the Eastern Conference and picked who's going to get out East and picked 1 to 15 where every team would come. And today we're doing the West and seeing how people are going to do in the Western Conference. Now I said it late in the last video, so I'll say from the start in this one. This is assuming that no one gets injured. Let's just say LeBron breaks the leg. That's going to change a lot of things. But assuming there's no serious injuries like ruining you out for a good 3 or 4 months, whatever. Everything relatively healthy, and COVID's not ruin your whole team. So, with all that said, let's get into it. Number 1 overall, we all know it is the Lakers. Not even because I'm a Lakers fan, this team is, I say, a good step or two above the rest of the teams in the West. They got younger this off season and they got more depth. Last season, their problem was it was an old team, an experienced team. And we didn't have too much scores off the bench. Well, this year we got the 6th man of the year to come off the bench, Montrezl Harrell, who averaged 18 points per game. We got Kyle Kuzma. I think that'll take the pressure off Kyle Kuzma, and I expect this year to be a big year for him. LeBron does as well. I have to wait and see what we do with Dennis Schroeder. Will he be a starter or not? But if he's a bench player, he came second rookie of the year. I mean, not rookie of the year, 6th man of the year, so he'll bring a lot. Marcus Gasol will bring stretching the floor for us, which we didn't have last year as a big man. And he's a good passer for a big man. So, the Lakers first seed. If you're not a Lakers fan, this is probably annoying. See the Lakers dominate the West again, but I see them repeating what they did last year and claiming the first seed. And the thing with that, the Clippers are going to keep their 2nd seed that they got last year. I don't think the Clippers are that good. They're the best of the rest, really, but it wouldn't shock me if Denver or Dallas bet them again in the playoffs in the first, 2nd round. Now the Clippers, still have a quiet leader in Paul George, but they kind of choked in the playoffs, especially Paul George. They brought in Serge Ibaka, which was good, and Luke Kennard, which were pretty good moves. Serge Ibaka is a very good player, and Kennard is a good scorer. But I'll say the last Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers, and I just don't think Doc Rivers is gone. Ty Lue, how's that going to work for him? Is Ty Lue going to be that much different to Doc? I have to wait and see. I just don't see him going too far. I see him 2nd round at best. I don't even think they're going to make the finals. The Western Conference finals. I don't see it. 3rd overall, Denver Nuggets. Now people, are kind of sleeping on the Nuggets. They didn't make much in this off season. I'll say they lost Jeremy Grant, but I still think they're going to come 3rd in the West. I think they're a very good team. Watched them last year, very good. Jamal Murray showed big signs that he's improving each and every year. So is Jokic. And Michael Porter Jr. I think it's going to be another big year for him to step up and show what he's got. And hopefully Bol can do something. I'd love to see him play more. But Nuggets, I'm sticking with them. 3rd seed for them. 4th overall, I'm going with the Dallas Mavericks. They came 7th last year. I think this year going to step up a bit. The reason I'm putting the Nuggets ahead of them is Porzingis. I know I said hoping injuries and all that stuff, but people like Porzingis, you have to assume there's injuries in that man. The knees or something. So I think that'll hold him back a bit. Hopefully come playoff time, he'll be hit and ready to go. Brilliant series against the Clippers. The Mavericks, they held their own and they did brilliantly. Luka Doncic, he's the future of the league. Definitely, I can guarantee he's going to be a future MVP. Maybe even challenge this year, I think. Unbelievable player. And obviously Porzingis, we all know how good he is. And they got in Josh Richardson. They lost Seth Curry, but they brought in Josh Richardson, which isn't too bad. He can guard opposing wings. He's a pretty good player. So, another good season in for you, Dallas Mavericks fans. 5 overall, I'm going for the Phoenix Suns. Obviously brought in Chris Paul this offseason. DeAndre Ayton's back. Devin Booker, expecting big things from him again this year. And they filled out the bench fit as well this year. I'm expecting a lot from the Phoenix Suns. 5th overall, people might think it's too high, but I just think that the Phoenix Suns, even if Chris Paul does decline a bit this year, like last year with OKC, Chris Paul was the main man in that team, and he's expected to get the scores. He's expected to make things tick. But this year, Chris Paul can take a step back if his body's not up to it. Devin Booker, I think, could be the leader of this team with Chris Paul as the number 2 guy. Him and DeAndre Ayton in that pick and roll, and I just see this team that they're good enough. They're good enough to come 5th in the West. Chris Paul has experience that only helped. Devin Booker is only going to improve. DeAndre Ayton is only going to improve, and Chris Paul is still an all-star last year, so Chris Paul is going to bring a lot to them as well. So 5th overall for Phoenix. 6th overall, I'm going with the Houston Rockets. I said I can't back down now. I said in my Rockets video recently, between the 4th and 6th seed, I'm going for the 6th. And I think John Wall is looking healthy, and him and John Wall and Marcus Cousins are looking healthy. and I can see them coming 6th overall. You know, people might disagree, might say John Wall's finished, Boogie Cousins is unreliable, he'll get injured, and this is all counting that James Harden will stay and play at a pretty high level with the Rockets. Like I'm assuming that this is going to be another James Harden year, which he averages over 30. Now this is James Harden dropping off, only playing, you know, taking some games out, like he's doing at the moment, not going training, and he doesn't get traded. But this is all without James Harden, this team doesn't make the playoffs. Simple as that. And so just assume that they got a fully fit and rare to go James Harden. And John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins are looking good. Christian Wood is one of the most underrated pickups of this offseason. So I think Houston, you have a good season coming through for you. Well, not a good season because you came 4th last year, but you'll stay as a playoff team anyway. I'll give you that. You'll be a playoff team again. 7th overall, the Utah Jazz. I would have put Utah higher, but they didn't do much at this offseason. You know, they kind of stood still during this offseason, so I think they have more than enough mid playoffs, but I just think the Utah Jazz will be the 7th seed of the team. Obviously, still got Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell will keep improving. You got Ingles, so you know, 7th seed for Utah. A slight step back from last year, coming 6th, but you know, 6th and 7th, is there too much difference? I don't know. 8th overall. I feel this is kind of harsh, but I don't. Obviously, I'm going to have to back my picks here, but let's just say the Rockets, James Harden leaves, or Rockets fall apart, or the Phoenix Suns don't live up. The Portland Trail Blazers will take one of their places. But for now, I'm assuming that Harden stays fit and healthy, ready to go. The Phoenix Suns, everything works out with him, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. The Portland Trail Blazers will be 8 overall for me. Yep, that's kind of harsh, I know. I think Damian Lillard is a very good player in his prime. He'll have an unbelievable season next year. CJ McCollum, unbelievable player as we know. They brought in Robert Covington, I think they're a great pickup, more wing depth. They kept Nurkic, they did lose Whiteside, they kept Carmelo Anthony. Another playoff run for you, but unfortunately probably playing the Lakers again, so you know, it might be short lived, but definitely a playoff team. And they might move up in this list, you know. All it takes is one team to get a big injury, a trade happen out of nowhere, players down tools, whatever, and Portland will move up. Number 9 overall, Golden State Warriors. They will make the play-in tournament for sure, but like losing Klay Thompson, I think ruins it all for them. You know, Steph Curry, he's the main man of this team. He's carrying the team. Kelly Oubre is a good pick, nice pick. James Wiseman was a good pick, number 2 overall. Draymond Green is obviously Draymond Green, but I don't think they have the bench to become a top 8 team. And I just think Steph Curry, he's been getting injuries the last few years. He's getting older and older. Still not, he's only 32 or 33, but he's getting on a bit now. If opposing teams just need a guard, if they can get Steph Curry under control, they'll have the Warriors under control. You know, Andrew Wiggins, you don't know what you're going to get with him. You know, yeah. So I can't go relying on Andrew Wiggins. But Steph Curry, unbelievable player. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But 9th overall is the best that you can hope for. I just don't think I think teams are going to double team him, whatever they need to do with him, and he won't go. And I think him on his own won't be enough to make the playoffs. But number 10 overall, the New Orleans Pelicans. Now they got Stan Van Gundy as their new head coach, and this all depends on Zion Williamson. Also, they got good players like Brandon Ingram, who signed a new contract. Lonzo Ball, who's on an expiring contract. JJ Redick, a reliable shooter. Steven Adams they brought in on a 2-year, $35 million deal. All good role players, but it's whatever Zion does, he can do. You know, if he can stay fit and healthy, he's 10th overall. If not, the Grizzlies might jump ahead of you. But I'm just assuming Zion will step up again this year, and they'll have a good season. New Orleans, 10 overall. 11, just missing out, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't think they have enough around Ja Morant. They have Valanciunas and Jackson Jr., but I just think they need a bit more depth. So that's why I'm putting them 11th. The thing with the Pelicans is they got a bit more depth. 12th overall, San Antonio Spurs. They're just rebuilding at the moment now. You know, DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge looks like they're running that back again. I'm a big fan of DeMar DeRozan. I wouldn't have minded him going to the Lakers, but I just don't see him getting the consistency needed. The depth, I don't have the depth either. 13 overall, OKC. Hey, listen, OKC, your time fans, your time will come. All those draft picks you have, you'll be fine in the future. So this is a rebuilding season. Your time will come. No need to worry about that. 14 overall, Minnesota Timberwolves. D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns have a full year together. Obviously they got the number one pick this year, which we got Anthony Edwards with. I think this team needs a few more years to chill. So 14 overall, I think is the best they can hope for. And 15th, the Sacramento Kings. Didn't do too much this offseason. Obviously De'Aaron Fox and the boys. I just don't think they're going to get too far. Obviously it has that Whiteside and a better minimum as well. But no, some team. Now, before we end this, the play-in tournament is going to be the Pelicans versus the Warriors. And I'm going to go for... It's a tough one. Is Steph Curry going to be injured? Will they be able to nullify him? I'm actually going to go with a bold take here, which can make me look like a clown in under a year's time. But I'm going to go for the Pelicans to beat the Warriors in the play-in tournament, which means the Blazers versus the Pelicans, which the Blazers will win. So the Blazers will get in. The Blazers will play the Lakers. The Lakers will win that. Clippers will beat Utah. Denver will beat Houston. And the Mavericks and Suns, what a match that's going to be. I'm going to lean towards the Mavericks. And then it doesn't matter from there on. The Lakers are winning this. They're getting out of the West with ease. And they're winning this championship. I think they're two tiers above every other team in the West for sure. And I think they're ahead of Brooklyn as well. A good bit ahead of Brooklyn. So Lakers 3-peat, maybe even 3-peat. You know, and that's getting ahead of myself. But you know, they're definitely repeating. But anyway, guys, that's the prediction. Tell me in the comments below. Do you agree? Disagree? Are my predictions? You know, are they brain dead predictions? Are they hot takes? Are they right? Are they wrong? I don't know. You guys decide. Anyway, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. We're making videos every day until the 25th of December, as I always say in every video. Make sure, so that's why you should have your notifications turned on, stay notified when I upload, and watch it, subscribe, like it, and yeah, comment. With all that said, guys, I'm out of here.